welcome as we continue talking about board games. Today we have a card game called Exiled Legends, which is another game by the same people who do Unstable Unicorns, but unlike You're Slay and Llamas Unleashed and the other ones that they've done, this one's very different. I haven't had Don play most of these games with us. So, this game, you are one of six, right?
I think so.
Or five.
Five.
Five legends. Right here. And you have an army based on what color you are. And so there's fire, there's light, there's water, there's dark, and there's unknown. And you have a deck of cards based on just your colors. And you basically pick a team of six. And so you have about 10 creatures, and you're going to pick 6 of them on your team. And you're going to be battling all these other legends. So here's the story that they have. It says, welcome to the Banesphere. You will play as an exiled legend, one of the powerful deities who rule over the desolate lands to which they have been banished. Legends settle their disputes and fight for control under the established rules of conflict in the Banesphere, an unpredictable coliseum of ever-changing environments. Fighters gather at the gates of the Banesphere waiting to be selected for battle. As a legend, you start by choosing 6 fighters to choose as your heroes, and entering the Banesphere to test your team's prowess. Your team will have 1 champion and 2 supports at a time, fighting on your behalf. Each time your champion is defeated, you will promote one of your supports to bring in a new fighter to vacate the support position. If you're out of fighters, you must enter the fray yourself, but be warned. If you are defeated, your entire team must immediately retreat from combat. Return to the barren wasteland until the next battle.
Yeah, so the idea is that you're playing essentially like demigods or gods, godlike creatures. They're all battling against each other for supremacy, and they're using their pawns first. And so there's some good variety in it, in that like you have 10 pawns to choose from, but you only get to use 6 of them. And you choose the 3 that you start with, but then the other 3 are shuffled. You don't know what's coming next.
And there are abilities to put ones when they die back in your deck, to shuffle them around, move them around.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff to like. There's a lot of available strategy and intricacy to the game because of that kind of mechanic. You have then abilities. You have your hero or legend has his own ability that's a team ability until he enters the field. So that ability is constantly in effect. And then he's got a Bane ability, which you have these little tokens. They're called Bane tokens, which I already put away already, that you put on your opponent's monsters, and they have effects associated with them as well. So there's a lot of strategy in this game, but it's not too intricate. Like, you could pick up and play it pretty easily. I think it took us, an hour to play the first game?
And the instructions make it seem far more complicated than it is just to pick up and play.
Yes.
You can pick up and play this game. As long as someone knows what they're doing, everyone else will be able to pick it up just fine.
Yeah. Also, like, it's got a little bit of an element of luck to it. Like, I was the first one to lose enough of my heroes to have to bring my legend into play, but I also ended up winning, which was not expected from my side.
Only like 2 of us ever rolled the die that was good. A lot of them have effects that's like, you roll a d6, and if you get a 6, you can, like, this creature doesn't die, or 5 or 6, and you get this positive effect. Most of us had this terrible roll. Just terrible the whole time.
2s and 3s the whole time. It's great.
And it's interesting because, like, one was basically a cleric healer one, and my one was like, I was the what?
Mind Flayer?
No,
Obelisk.
I was the obelisk. I had no attack, but my power was basically like I could just like smash all of you with my mind, and it was some really powerful stuff. But like you had basically no defense, a strong attack, and was fire. Steph was dark and had strong attack, little no defense, while our friend Ben was cleric who had lots of defense but little to no attack. Yeah. But they were surprisingly well balanced.
Yeah, very balanced.
Which is good because like you can just continue mixing these up and be able to play it. Now the thing is, there's only 5, so it's a max of 5 players, and I think it is best if you have as many as you can. I think that just makes it more fun. Mm-hmm. There's a 2-player option that does work, and it's similar to Magic the Gathering, as was pointed out by us multiple times while we were playing. But it doesn't really take that long to play. Once it gets rolling, it seems like it might take longer at first, but once you get rolling, it's really not that long.
Yeah, Bruce came to complain that we had been playing for an hour though.
But a lot of that was because we read the rules.
Yeah.
And reading the rules, and then you got a phone call. And the game says it's 14 and up.
30 minutes to.
It says 30 to 60 minutes, which is accurate. It is 2 to 5 players. It can't go anymore. But the art's really good.
Yeah, and it's very different art style than what you would expect, given the other games by Unstable Games, like Unstable Unicorns and Here to Slay. Whereas the art style on this is very like epic, as opposed to like cutesy. It's really good.
Yeah, so like this is not the same like cute stuff we had before, but it's very good. Everything's high quality. You do need to make sure you don't lose some of the pieces and tokens in there. But I quite enjoyed it. This might be one of my favorite ones that we just tried out this week. It's so different than everything else. I appreciate how different it was.
Yeah, it was very different than anything else we played this week.
And being that it's different, I know exactly what type of niche it can fit in for when you want to play that type of game. It's not really a party game for everyone. But if you want something like Magic the Gathering where you can just play and everyone's on the same field, we can do it. Ironically, I also have a board game up there that is Magic the Gathering, Planeswalkers is at the top, that we have never played. I'll probably play that a little later. But this does scratch a good itch, and it does say 14 and up. I'd probably say that's pretty close.
I think this is the only game that we played that was actually like pitted us against each other. Like everything else was like we were competing. But in this one, it was like actual like we are against each other, which was interesting. It's very different.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of luck with die rolls as always, but the rest of it is strategy, and a lot of I found a lot of fun. If you do not like if you don't like games like Magic the Gathering, it's not a game for you. If you want something that is funny and fun and full of jokes and humor, like Unstable Unicorns, Llamas Unleashed, or even Here to Slay, it's not that. It's not. This one's kind of a serious fantasy thing. But if you like fantasy games, if you like strategy games, like card games, and you don't have a lot of time to bust out some of the bigger ones, this is a good one for you.
Yeah, totes. Totes my goats.
So, anything else to add?
Negative. Can't expect.